everyone, and welcome to E for Everyone. Hi, I'm Kristen, your storyteller, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite games ever, Parasite Eve, a game developed by Squaresoft in 1998.
Initiating time travel sequence.
This is the second time the bus broke down. I'm the king of the world!
Who will bring balance to the force.
Welcome to 1998, where boy bands Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera just entered the pop culture scene. Iconic hits like Baby One More Time by Britney Spears and The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica, movies like Mulan, Halloween Town, and The Parent Trap came out this year. Popular toys at the time were yo-yos, Spice Girl dolls, and by far the most popular, Furbies. Oh no! This is the first Japanese role-playing game I've ever played, and everything about it was really different. The game was really serious, and the graphics at the time were incredible. It's the first time I played a biological horror-themed, turn-based RPG. Let's talk about video game history. Nintendo 64 was thriving. PC games were getting more popular. But then, PlayStation 1 showed the graphical power consoles could have.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
This console was revolutionary. It used CDs instead of cartridges, it could use true 3D graphics, games could be on multiple discs. The gaming experience was really changing for its time. Console games were shifting away from the popular platformers and heading into new genres. The official PlayStation magazine described Parasite Eve as a cross between Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil. The game director, Takashi Takoda, described the game's style as a cinematic RPG. Squaresoft had a lot to live up to. The games they wanted to develop were too graphically powerful for the Nintendo 64 console, so they turned to Sony PlayStation. This was a more experimental time in development for Squaresoft, and instead of pushing Final Fantasy, they acquired more IPs and released Parasite Eve, Front Mission, and Xenogears. Now that the PlayStation's on the rise, it was time to create a game with incredible graphics. Seriously, at the time, I whacked it really hard. Seriously, at the time, this was fantastical compared to what we were used to seeing. So let's tell the spooky thriller story of Parasite Eve. Also, this game is not for kids, but it's also kind of gross, but like in a cool way. Josie, run the clip. The game opens to a 25-year-old
Ameryh.
going to the opera on Christmas Eve. That's a lot of eye contact. Kids, don't look. It's hot and scary. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't her date catch on fire? I've been thinking about that for years. Aria springs into action and goes after the actress on stage, who can't get injured. We get it. You're too beautiful to get hurt. Aria traverses backstage to see... Ew. After exploring the dressing rooms, Aria discovers a diary. The actress is Melissa Pierce. The woman is taking too many drugs and is desperate, and something is terribly wrong. Psst, kids, do you not like mutating into scary monsters? Let's not do drugs, okay? Okay, let's do it. Let's be safe. Aria gets into the rehearsal space and sees Melissa sitting there playing the piano. Melissa is now Eve, and your mitochondria will be set free. I'm sorry, what? Aria jumps into the suspicious hole in the ground and finds Eve in the sewer. Eve goops through the sewer bars and Aya has to fight a weird crocodile. What a time to be alive!
Miss, you are the sole survivor of this horrible ordeal, correct?
Whoa, dude, we've just survived a traumatic experience. Can you get the camera away from us? That's Daniel, Aya's detective partner. Now buckle in, my friend, we have days of good old biological horror themed adventure. Day 2, Fusion. We open at the police station. Daniel's son, Ben, is reminding him of the Christmas show at Central Park, where they were supposed to go. But obviously, the case of everyone spontaneously combusting is kind of the #1 priority right now. Sorry, Ben. Daddy's trying to stop a bioterrorist. Hey, that's the word of the day, bioterrorist. A person who deliberately releases viruses, bacteria, toxin, or other harmful agents to cause illness or death in people, animals, or plants. The police have a press conference and Aya's a little too honest. The media is loving this story. The chief is upset. Ooh, someone's in trouble. Daniel and I go to the museum to talk to Dr. Clamp, a renowned researcher known for his mitochondria research. I think we're gonna need a mini biology lesson because mitochondria is a pretty big story point here. Every cell in humans, animals, and plants contain mitochondria. I'm sure you've all heard that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, right? Well, kind of. Mitochondria breaks down food and usable energy for cells. So when they go into this bio-horror theme of mitochondria mutating, they're just imagining the fuel production for cells being overloaded at an extraordinary rate, causing cells to mutate. It's kind of like how cancer spreads, but instead of killing the host, it's doing gross sci-fi things. Essentially, Dr. Clamp is excited that this is a possibility and brushes Aya and Daniel off. Aya and Daniel get word that Melissa's still performing at Central Park where Daniel's son and ex-wife are. You'd think mutating into a monster would be an okay excuse not to perform, right? The NYPD evacuates the entire city. Daniel can't get close to the park without starting to catch on fire, so Aya enters the park alone. She gets to the stage to see Eve has turned the entire group of people into a giant jelly blob. It's what the children of the 90s would have wanted.
So whenever you want, you can make as much as you want.
Aya jumps onto a horse-drawn carriage and fights Eve. A Japanese scientist, Maida, finds an unconscious Aya and brings her to an abandoned apartment with Daniel. Maida tells Aya and Daniel about how this incident is very similar to what happened in Japan. Aya has a realization that she's different and has the potential to accidentally kill her new companions. But she totally won't, right? Day 3, Selection. Maida and Daniel never left her side when she went to sleep. Maida uses Clamp's lab at the museum to test this hypothesis on why Aya doesn't burn like everyone else. She has a mitochondrial mutation that defends her from getting hurt from Eve's fiery essence. Clamp finds them and then asks them to leave. NYPD station was attacked by Eve, though Eve never showed herself. The entire team looks for Ben, who is following Shiva, the police dog. The dog mutates and is taken down, eventually by Aya. Baker, the police captain, is injured, and now Daniel's in charge.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Day 4, Contraception. Maida is working in the NYPD lab. He believes the attack from the night before was a distraction. Eve wants to create the ultimate being, so Aya and Maida go to the hospital. Aya saves a few of the remaining staff from Eve's monsters and heads down to the DNA sample place, just to find out that she's too late and Eve already took them. The military sends jets to New York to try to fight Eve. Aya runs to the roof and finds Eve. She gloats about obtaining the DNA samples for baby creation and trying to conceive the ultimate being. E for everyone tip? Don't try to get pregnant by stealing DNA samples from the hospital. Ew! Military jets fly close and the fighters all crash. It seems Aya is literally the only person that can get close to Eve without combusting or melting. The team finds intel informing them that Clamp has been stealing confidential doctor records for years and targeted the people from the Central Park incident. Day 5, Evolution. Aya is sent out to look for Eve and heads into Chinatown. She can feel Eve's presence near a manhole and enters the sewers. In the sewers, she finds the giant people blob and uses water pumps to flush them out of the public water system. Now to pay Clamp a visit. Aya goes to the museum only to find the entire museum overrun by Eve's mutated creatures. You get to fight dinosaurs! She finds Clamp with Maida and Daniel. Clamp admits to everything, then asks Eve to take him. Aya yells for Maida and Daniel to get out of the way as Clamp spontaneously combusts. Oh look, he's on fire! Aya finds a very pregnant Eve on the 4th floor. Before Aya can fight her, Eve is taken away by the people glob and moved into the middle of the street, surrounded by the blob like a shield. The military shoots missiles at the blob, but nothing hits. A helicopter comes to pick up the team. Turns out the military has been watching Aya and knows she's the only one who can get close without melting or blowing up.
Hey, are you keeping an eye on the rookie detective with the supernatural abilities?
Yes, sir. Eve and the blob move to the Statue of Liberty. They send Aya to shoot a huge missile at the blob and end this once and for all. Ugh, don't shoot missiles at the Statue of Liberty. That was a gift from France! She jumps out of the helicopter and takes down Eve once and for all.
Bye, Felicia!
Then retires to the military ship. Day 6, Liberation. Aya and the team are awakened by explosions. Turns out the ultimate being was being born. A baby in this economy? Well, yeah, that's not too bad. Aya encourages everyone to leave it and takes this on herself. The baby is growing up? Aya's guns are no match for this thing. Maida has made bullets infused with Aya's cells. Daniel leaps from the helicopter, throws the clip of special bullets to her, and lands in the water. The bullets are starting to help, but it's not enough. In an act of desperation, Aya runs down to the engine room out of the ship to set off a bomb.
Go on, do the honors.
Grant your humble servant the ultimate attack spell! Explosion!
It's finally over.
I don't understand. Why do I have this power?
It's because Maya is inside of you too, Aya.
Aya had a twin sister named Maya. Maya was experimented on by Clamp. Maya died in an accident. Aya got a cornea transplant from her, thus making her mitochondrial mutation, an advantage nobody else has. To make up for missing the Central Park performance, Maida, Daniel, Ben, and Aya go to the opera to see the same play that this entire game started at. This time, without incident. The end? I mean, there is a Parasite Eve 2, just saying. Oh, hey, did you enjoy my Parasite Eve video? Please consider subscribing. I make these in my free time and have fun digging into older games. Check out my previous playlist of E for Everyone. Do you want to see me do a certain game? Leave a comment down below.
I forgot how much I freaking love that game. It's a very good game. I really love Parasite Eve, as you may or may not know by my wall.